Hi, folks. So I sat down today to try and write an application for the Artist Basic Income Guarantee Program for TIFT, and I knew that I didn't want to write, and I wanted to talk about why I wanted to apply. And my phone wasn't working, so here I am live on YouTube. I hope this doesn't sound or look bad because I can't edit any of it, and we're going completely off the cuff and unscripted. I hope you enjoy what I have to say about myself. So I I've been in Canada for the last 8 years. I'm an actor. I have been trained as a musical theatre actor. I became an educator at a very young age in the sciences, and then I transitioned to being an arts educator when I came to Canada as well 8 years ago. Um, but my career as an artist has sort of kind of been in those two fields. Uh, Last year, I found myself teaching acting at Toronto Metropolitan University and found that something I hoped was true about myself was true, which was that I was also a gifted director. Um, in teaching the second year contemporary rehearsal project, which was basically contemporary scenes being directed by myself for second year acting students. Um, and ever since then, well, ever since before then, I've been wanting to direct, but ever since then, I've felt a renewed vigor to direct, not instead of act, because I don't feel a pull to just be one thing. I never have. I'm someone with a master's in mechanical engineering and a master's in musical theater. And I'm not an actor because I think engineering sucks. I'm an actor because I want to be. Um, and I still keep doing engineering related things when the urge strikes, if that if that resonates at all. Um, why I'm really interested in your program is because as much as I love this wonderful world of uh, looking for the next gig, I am yearning for some structure. And I think a basic income guarantee, a basic contract guarantee every year would really help with that to just go, okay, yeah, I know I have that. And that will really help me make decisions about the kinds of projects I want to take and don't want to take, rather than feeling like I just have to say yes to everything that either comes my way or is put in front of me to apply for. Um, uh, and on the other hand, I also just had a baby boy, and so some structure that allows me to choose to stay in Toronto for certain contracts and not go out of the city every single time there's a potential contract to go out for is something that I'd really like to have on a really practical side of things. Um, as I said, I'm interested in continuing to be an actor in directing. I'm also interested, and this is part of the theatre makers stream, I guess, part of my application. I'm really interested in acting and directing, but I'm also interested in learning the technical side of things and getting into some sound design, but I don't really know how to do that. Um, on the acting side, I found myself as someone with an engineering degree that's gotten into theatre, wanting to try different things in theatre, but often not being able to afford the training, and often not having the time for the training for different disciplines. So clown comes to mind. Um, I'd love to do more fight work. Um, I love to do a lot more physical theatre work. The small amount of Suzuki training I have through the Banff Citadel program in 2019 really ignited a spark for that kind of work. But it has been few and far between. And then we had a pandemic. So here I am telling you about some of the artistic work I want to do. On the theatre innovation side, I don't even know if I should apply, but I am putting it out there. I worked for Shakespeare in Action for 2.5 years, and as part of that work, I helped devise an equity strategy, trying to make our audition process more equitable to actors. At the time we started working on it at Shakespeare in Action, I really wanted to change the whole industry. But I was given the advice, and I think rightly so, to start small, to start with what we knew, our process, our auditions, our own experiences. Um, but I know that I want to build something that will impact the wider industry. I don't want it to be just limited to theatre either. I think commercial auditions could do with a whole dose of equity. I'm sure film and TV could, but I need to get an audition to know. Um, yeah, I know I want to do something there. How I get there, no clue. Who I get there with, no clue. But I know I work best in teams. I know I work best in collaboration. So if y'all want to put me together with some folks and say go to it, I'm interested in doing that as well. Um, Kind of flipping back, I guess, to the theatre makers stream, but I'm also starting to write with my writing partner Rosalind Collada Cedra, and starting to write stuff right now. We're really interested in writing things that uplift BIPOC and women's voices. But also, I personally am interested in writing stories about the South Asian diaspora that are not told. In the South Asian diaspora, and specifically in the Sri Lankan community, we tend to talk about the largest groups that live in our countries, and I think that's important. Some of those issues are really important to write about. But I think that ends up reinforcing the idea that South Asia is monolithic, mostly to white folks, sure. But I think even within our own communities, we sometimes lack those nuances. And I'd really like to write about um, the Afro-Lankan community. I'd really like to write about the indigenous Lankan community, indigenous to Lanka as of um, as of right now, but also uh, only pushed out, I guess, to the margins of society 2,500 years ago and still survive to today. I would like to write about the Parsi community, which you would now know perhaps as the Farsi speaking communities that were pushed out of Iran during the Islamic invasions and then traveled across South Asia. Some settled in India, some settled in Sri Lanka. These are just examples of communities that I would like to write stories about. Um, and I'd love to do that with TIFT because I love the work you do. Um, yeah, I hope this isn't too long. Thank you for taking the time to consider my application. Um, Thank you.